We're joined this evening by Bob Moellenberg with the Springfield Local School District, the treasurer over there. We thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. You have a levy push coming up, 3.9 mils on the ballot, which is $119 a year if you have a $100,000 home.
Correct.
Why does the school district need this money?
What we've been experiencing for 3 years running now is an actual decrease in revenue. Our local property taxes have been going down for 3 years running. Our state taxes have been pretty much flat for even longer than that. So what has kept us alive, so to speak, for years and years is pretty much the local property tax, and there was always just a certain amount of growth that we experienced in that from year to year. However, that's now going, in effect, backwards for 3 years running, which has really caused a lot of problems for us operationally. We've made 3 levels of cuts already to this point. Cut about $3.1 million out of our operating budget. And at this point, there's really not a lot left to make those cuts that don't drastically affect programming.
Now, voters have recently said no to a levy for your district. Why is this pitch going to be different than what you did before?
It's just basically making sure everyone understands what's at stake, the programming that possibly could be lost in the event that the funding is not available. We want to make sure everybody understands and is clear to where we're at with all of that. It's very difficult now. You know, when we first start making cuts, the board has always tried to keep those cuts as much out of the classroom as they can.
Okay.
It's kind of like if you picture starting at the outer diameter of multiple circles, you kind of work your way towards the center, and
the kids are at the center.
The kids are at the center, obviously.
So but there's a perception you could have some difficulty because the police department is also asking for a levy. You're asking for a levy. Are you worried that voters might say, "Listen, I got X amount of dollars. I'll give a little bit more, but maybe I'll go one way or the other instead of," and maybe they might choose to go against the school district and for police?
Absolutely, and we understand this is just about the worst time you could be asking for additional money. I mean,
at least you admit it.
Absolutely. I mean, we're very much aware of the economic situation, and believe me, we wouldn't be out there if it wasn't a dire situation. So we're hopeful that parents and other residents will support the issue. We understand it's very difficult at this time. There's really no end in sight as far as looking down the road. The state is not going to be coming to our rescue. They're with
the state could actually cut next year.
Absolutely, and that's another thing that's really still up in the air at this time is what's going to happen with the state of Ohio as far as our funding goes.
But you feel confident that the number you're at, you could. I'm guessing you wouldn't add services. You probably maintain if you get the money you get.
Correct. If this levy is approved, there will be no restoration of everything that's been cut in the last year and a half or so. It's going to be strictly stay as we are and attempt to maintain the existing program as long as we can.
All right. Well, wish you the best of luck, Bob Moellenberg with the Springfield Local School District as we get, we're 2 weeks away now from Election Day.
Absolutely.
Thanks very much for your time. And that is your Talk Back.